bad news will always come along, and the most we can do is to consider what is relevant, rather what is not so relevant, and to prepare day by day, week by week, and so on for ourselves and those that we love, basically, to get through bad times. That's the best we can honestly do, because we are up against the most organized system that has ever existed on planet Earth, totally integrated with each other through academia, through countless think tank foundations and organizations, all working with the governments, and we don't put the government officials into power, the big boys do. Democracy never ever existed. There was a great con while it lasted. And Charles Galton Darwin was quite right when he said in his own book, the people have always been slaves in one form or another, and we are simply creating a more sophisticated form of slavery. That was democracy with its taxation. And during a productive period, while we are going to build up the economy, they use our tax money for projects abroad or for wars as they take over the planet. They allow everyone to drive old junk cars with rust in it and so on. The cops stay off of our back during that period. We get our cheap cigarettes and our entertainment, and there are no new laws conveying our habits that are ultimately installed to train everyone into living with mounting restrictions. A lot of people do crack up from the information that gets thrown out at them, and they cannot discern what is real, what is fake, or what is meant to immobilize them with fear and terror. They cannot distinguish eventually. People are so easily sidetracked with trivia, purposefully released to sideline them off into terrorland. Governments have put billions of dollars into research of how to control one's brain, from basic psychology through repetition of slogans to using electromagnetic fields and things like that. Various intelligence agencies are given complete access to all our data on a daily basis because they study us. But they are doing other things as well, obviously. Once it was called technotronic warfare. Now it's all under the field of neuroscience. Books from Brzezinski that have been released in the 70s dealt with the technotronic era and how whole continents would be controlled with the emotions and behavior by the use of technotronic techniques. These are the things that are real because citizens' tax money went into it. This is a U.S. patent from January 14, 2003. Nervous system can be manipulated by electromagnetic fields from monitors. The physiological effect has been observed in a human subject in response to the stimulation of the skin with weak electromagnetic fields or pulses with certain frequencies near 1.5 to 2.4 Hz, such as to excite a sensory resonance. Many computer monitors and TV tubes are displaying pulsed images, and pulsed electromagnetic fields of sufficient amplitudes can cause such excitation. It is therefore possible to manipulate the nervous system of a subject by pulsing images displayed on a nearby computer monitor or TV set. For the latter, the image pulsing may be embedded in the program. Material may be overlaid by modulating video stream, either as an RF signal or as a video signal, displayed on a computer monitor. May be pulsed effectively by a simple computer program. For certain monitors, pulsed electromagnetic fields capable of exciting sensory resonances in nearby subjects may be generated, even as the displayed images are being pulsed with subliminal intensity. That's one of many of the things that governments have been working on for a long time. And we are all stuck staring at that screen all day long. That patent was actually applied for in 2001. Whatever is applied through the patent office is generally obsolete because the big boys high up in the military-industrial complex already have that stuff working very effectively. Apart from that, there is an article from the Pentagon on its weaponized form of this technology to actually work the signals of one's body to such a way that one's blood vessels could narrow so quickly, because the language is understood, that can turn on or off one's system via the eyes, and the signals can actually cause stroke. It's a Pentagon paper release. So let's be careful with how much time we spend in front of the box there, whether it's TV, computers or even cell phones. Various intelligence agencies are given complete access to all your data on a daily basis because they study you. That's just that, but they are doing other things as well, obviously. Technotronic warfare, it is called technotronics. Now it's all under the field of neuroscience. Chemtrails, oh, one thing is for sure, absolutely positive, it will destroy your immune system. Actually, one weekend, I had that yellow rain. I have done testing it, there was barium in it, highly carcinogenic stuff, aluminum oxide, traces of arsenic too, and various other things. Like different metals and compounds. So that stuff leaches throughout your system, and when you urinate, it takes out a lot of your natural electrolytes and chemicals with it. And you become depleted in certain areas. Everyone is completely depleted now, as seen in blood tests, low levels in vitamin D and various other things, such as low in zinc. Zinc is essential for a good health system. Everyone is depleted, and I get this from guys in the labs and so on. So that's a fact, they all know this at the top. But it also ties in with weather modification, absolutely. It also ties in with Brzezinski's mind control technotronic weaponry, because you go back to the age of Teller with the H-bomb. He represented it to the Pentagon, how to spray the skies with barium aluminum oxide to make it more conductive to HAARP technology, and they used that as secondary signal put on top. Piggybacking on the main HAARP signal could actually influence human behavior, can make you very passive or aggressive. They tested it out on the people of Maine. There was a lawsuit come in after a lot of destruction went on when they've gotten aggressive, so they tried the aggressive frequency, and even domestic animals were biting their masters. Cows became crazy and the suicide rate shot up. So these are facts, these aren't theories or guesses, these are facts. They can be all of those things, but it also definitely dumbs us down. It has a reason. If people today don't complain about anything at all, they are walking zombies. Brzezinski did talk about that in his own book The Technotronic Era. He was up there with the NSA, the head of it at one point. National Security Agency, they deal with all the electronic warfare technology as well as listening devices. He wrote about it in his own book. Bertrand Russell also backed it up. Used on the public, they will come to decisions and will be completely unaware of how they come to them or how their moods are affected. This is in place now. And it's so funny, on one level we have meetings in California recently, where scientists talking about geoengineering in the future, and outside the guys are protesting against geoengineering that is already going on for the last 12 years. So they've already been doing all this stuff. Different levels of reality, even for the professors.